Maybe just so we can
next
see.
to it. So it's like this is my car. So
Okay, and so what can you tell us about the story? What is the car?
the car is a 1961 Studebaker Lark. It was I was working in Arizona, and it was on a main street there on a trailer, and it was complete, except it had really nasty looking flat tires. But it sat there in the heat, summer, and then probably a year. I drove by it many times. It's had a for sale sign on it. One day I stopped and looked at it, and the price is really reasonable. Has no rust on it. So I bought it. And I asked the guy if he could deliver it. He said, sure. It was already on a trailer. So he took it over to my shop, and we tied a cargo strap to my van at the other end of the shop. So the cargo strap went all the way through the shop. And he just drove out from under it, and it fell on the ground in front of my shop. And then I dragged it in. That day, I put tires on it, at least like just some used tires so I could roll it around. And started taking it apart. And everything I took apart, this bag marked, very few nuts and bolts in each bag, so they're marked very specifically where they go. And my plan is to make a good car out of it. I don't know how much detail I want to go into, what I want to do, but I've got a Chevy 350 for it, and a turbo 350, and a 10-bolt corporate rear end, that's bigger than the old 10-bolt. It's called 10-bolt corporate. You probably find that on the internet. And should be a nice car to drive around. Good daily driver.
And what about the motor that's in the car? Have you ever driven it?
This engine, can you see that engine? Let me pull this down. When I got the car, that's how the engine looked. Somebody had taken it apart this far, so I don't know the history of it. You know, there's no timing chain, there's gears. And the timing cover was off of it. And that's just how it looked. So, no, I never did anything with that engine other than let it sit on the chassis. I guess I'm going to have to. I'm planning on pulling the body off the frame, so at that point we'll pull the engine off. And who knows? Maybe we'll put it on an engine stand and lubricate those gears and put the timing cover on it and see. I've never even seen if it turns. It may not even turn. But if it turns, maybe we can start it. I don't know.
When you bought the car, did you ask about the engine?
The man had no idea. He bought the car. He was a scrapper, and he had like old refrigerators and cars and junk, just steel everywhere. And steel and aluminum. He made steel and aluminum piles and sold the stuff. This was complete enough that he put it out front for sale. He didn't scrap it out. So no history at all, other than he put it in his name, and it only been in his name for a short period of time. And then I went and put it in my name. So it's that's what I know about it. It looked like a pretty good thing to start for pretty good car for a project. Let's put it that way.
How long do you think that engine was sitting and hadn't been run when you first saw the car?
When I first saw it, it's hard to say. Maybe a year, who knows? But it's been sitting like this for 7 or 8 years now that I've had it. So let's see. I think I got it in 2015 because that's when I bought the engine. So I think that's when I bought it, and it's 2022 now. So, so it's been sitting for a long time. That engine though is 61 was the first year for the Studebaker overhead valve 6-cylinders. 60 and earlier they were flatheads. This year they had problems with them right off the bat, and Studebaker had some. They made some upgrades to it in 62. It became a more reliable engine. In 61, I know a lot of them went back to the dealers for upgrades. So, I don't know. It might be an interesting engine to run, but not something I really want to use every day. Maybe Kim could make this run. I don't know. I'd like to build an engine stand. It's just a engine stand that we could run engines on. Just any engine. Who knows? This might be the trial for that. Put a battery in some kind of tank of fuel and check the oil. I don't even know if it has oil in it. Where's the dipstick? It's probably on the other side. I don't even know if this engine has oil in it. Who knows? Who knows why it's apart? Anything could happen. I don't know why it's apart.
But it had a hood over the motor.
Oh, this car was complete. Everything was complete. Had a hood over it. Hood open and closed just fine. Doors open and closed. Windows were rolled up and down. Everything was good. It was an Arizona car, so the body didn't have any rust on it, but the interior was. I think somebody had been living in it because there were a lot of clothes in it. Took all that, put it in a dumpster. The upholstery was pretty bad, but that's typical of cars that sit in the sun. What's good is, I mean, I can put seats in it. Anybody can do upholstery. But the body is not falling apart rusty. If this were in like Tennessee or further north in here, it'd just be a rust pile, and it's not. So that's why I bought it. It's pretty good shape.